quarter going, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait.
Present NBA players, I would pick Shaquille O'Neal as my center, Tim Duncan as my power forward, Larry Bird as my small forward. Am I on the team? Michael Jordan as my shooting guard. Late addition. I'm not taking Larry. I'm taking Kobe as my small forward, Jordan as my shooting guard.
Wow.
Magic Johnson at point
guard. Wow.
Past or present?
Wow.
Who are we gonna start off?
I want Allball to start off.
I'm anxious. I'm anxious. You know why? Because everybody's gonna act like this is nothing.
Because it's nothing.
See, there you go. Look, I told you. I see everybody faces, right? And I'm gonna tell you the part that everybody's missing out on. If he would have just said pass, no problem. But when he go past and present, listen, man, there's something to that. I think Curry and LeBron has a respect for one another, but I think they have a disdain pause for one another. I don't think they like each other. It shows on the court. Like I said, you have to respect their games. Both legends. LeBron, arguably greatest small forward of all time. And Steph Curry, to some people, not for me, but to some people, is the greatest point guard of all time. So I'm never going to judge that. I'm never going to say they're not great. But I think there is something between LeBron and Steph Curry, and it's been going on for a couple years. I think they both chasing each other. I don't think LeBron is chasing the ghost of Jordan. I think he needs to be chasing the person that's right on the side with him, which is Steph Curry. And Curry knows that. And I've been saying this, and everybody used to laugh at me. If Curry gets 5 rings before it's all over, and LeBron doesn't get another ring, the LeBron GOAT debate is over. It's over. And if people don't think it's something to that, y'all crazy. But what Curry did, and also it just goes to show the respect that people have for Larry Bird. Larry Bird is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He's my greatest small forward of all time, and it's for this. Hey, man, them guys lay it all on the line. But also, to put Kobe Bryant as your small forward over LeBron James goes to show you the respect they have for the Black Mamba. Like I said, LeBron is great, but he's not everybody's cup of tea. And to me, the sports world tries to push that narrative to make everybody want to love LeBron James. And just because you may have a disagreement doesn't mean you don't like him. But like I always tell people, he's not the greatest I've ever seen. And that's what Curry has over him. He is the greatest shooter we've ever seen. LeBron James is not the greatest player we've ever seen. It's a guy over there in Chicago. So for me, there's something there. It may be minuscule, it may be small, but there's something there. And I think this is gonna be nice to see now because they're both in the West. So they gotta run into each other a lot. And let's not forget before I go, who beat Steph Curry and them in the second round this year. So to me, there's something going on, but I love it. I'm glad that Curry did that because it just goes to show you guys got their own mindset, and also they paying homage to the guys before them that deserve it.
Well, Flea, you think that Steph Curry and LeBron actually have a disdain for each other? Just like AllBall. What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's a healthy competition. I think it's a healthy disdain. I don't think that Steph. Well, first, let me put my opinion out. I don't think that's much of nothing. What he just did with that, this is my 5, this is my 5. I don't think that's much of nothing in terms of shooting at LeBron, right? The people that watch the game, the people that are fans of the game, the people that talk the game like us, right? We could dive into that. But I don't think Steph is consciously doing that to shoot at LeBron. He's a competitor of his. So I wouldn't expect Steph Curry to put him in his top 5 starting all-time starting 5, right? I wouldn't expect Steph to do that.
Can I ask you why would y'all not think Steph would do that? Just if you could respond to that.
Because I think Steph has a relative old school mentality to him. You never see Steph doing a lot of the shit that the youngsters do. And what I mean by that is I think Steph has a healthy respect for the game. He's been around the NBA his entire life, right?
Good point.
Grew up in the locker rooms, grew up around pros, understands what it is to be a professional, right? So I don't think that he's jumping out the window. He's sitting there playing with a bunch of fucking dogs, right? Like, I don't think that he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest with you. I think that if you put Steph in a different setting, he might not even have that same 5. His 5 might change. He looked like he's just having fun and doing what he does. But just to put a bow on what I'm saying, I don't really think that this is much of nothing. I think Steph really respects the guys that came before him. This was an opportunity to show some love and respect to the guys that came before him. And, you know, I wouldn't expect anything different from Steph Curry. Now, LeBron James, if you sat LeBron James down, I'll be curious to hear what LeBron James' top 5, you know, starters of all time would be. I would be curious to hear that because I'll be honest with you. I would expect him to do the same thing Steph Curry did. I would expect him not to name himself, and I would expect him not to name any guys current or even recent. The most recent guy they named was Tim Duncan.
Hold on, you said LeBron wouldn't name himself?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
LeBron just called himself the best player of all time like 3 years ago.
Yeah, he was
LeBron is out of his mind.
He doubled down this year.
On his own podcast.
It wasn't his podcast.
Himself. Huh?
It wasn't his podcast.
It was on the shot.
No, it wasn't. He was on stage with like I forgot who on some random
So
like
it was
I'm
either
the
on
greatest
shot
ever.
or uninterrupted. One of the two. He was out.
Flea. You've been in Texas. You've been in Texas for too damn long.
Flea's right. No, Flea's right. He was
not
with Maverick. Yes, he was. He was with Maverick Carter and Rich Paul watching like a projector screen. It was one of his own something he did.
That was
about what when he said I'm the greatest ever.
That's right there, maybe the greatest player of all time. And they were watching.
He was on that shoulder shot. Whatever that thing is that they got.
Yeah, it was his own.
I thought he was by himself on stage. I mean, with 2 other people. I forgot. I think Richard Jefferson. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Flea, you've been gone for too long from New York City.
Are you talking about the
now you want to take my New York City card away from me because I've been.
I'm not taking. Listen, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you dig back in the draw and go back and get that New York card. You forgot about our double talk. Steph Curry has been double talking for a minute. You want the proof? Here's the proof. Remember when LeBron went off and he said, "I would love to play with Steph Curry. I love him on my team. I can't believe it." What did Steph Curry say back? Well, James words meant a lot to him. He recalls a fond memory. Not a lot of people remember this. I have his jersey. In college, he gave me his jersey and he signed it to the king of basketball, North Carolina. He left. Look, I still have it on the wall at my parents' house back in Charlotte. He continued. You take a fantasy draft and you're building a team out and you take what Braun can do and the way that I can shoot the ball. Obviously, there's a curiosity of what I like, what that look like. That's the case. Though that's the case, he appears to double down on the answer, ending the rumors once and for all, right? But also there's a realism. And that's why I said, I'm good right now. You can never let your mind go from what you know is your situation and your moment, your time, and who I have been rocking with from day one. That's my best answer. Hold on. That's my best answer because it's fantasy. It's wild, but there's a respect and appreciation and a surrealness because of where I came from and how we interacted in college. But if this was 2K, that would be pretty lethal. Okay. That's more subliminal talk. That is, I don't care what you did for me in college. That happened when I was a kid. I was a baby. Where do I leave my kid stuff at? My kid trophies at? Back in my parents' house. I'm a big boy now. You want to come holler at me? Nah, I'm Steph Curry. I'm one of your rivals. Don't think otherwise. I'm sick of this. He's talking to LeBron. He's telling him, "Yo, dog, I'm not what you think I am."
Y'all want Steph to be that type of guy, and he's just not that type of guy. He's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill you on the court, and that's that. He's gonna kill you, and that's that. Y'all want him to be that guy to come off the court, go in front of the oppressor, go on a podcast, go on here, and talk shit. He's not that type of dude. He's gonna play his game. He's going to shimmy. He's going to have fun, and he's going to respect his opponents, and he's going to kick ass. I don't know what you're...
But hold on. Can I say this just real quick? I know I went just 2 seconds. I don't expect him to do that because that's not him. What I'm trying to say is this. They ask him questions about LeBron. He throws his little subliminals, if y'all think as competitive as Steph Curry is, you don't think he feel no way with him having the same amount of rings as LeBron James? And when people talk about GOATs, when people talk about top this, top that, I made a post about this, and his name gets left out. Listen, man, there's something here. But I'm going to just say this, I'll let y'all go. To me, it's good for basketball. I'm happy to see competitiveness. I'm happy to see somebody say, no, I don't want to play with him. That don't mean I disrespect you or don't respect your game. That means I want to compete against you. So to me, I look at it like that as well. At least we have some players that still left, like you said, Flea, with the old school mentality. Like Giannis. Remember, they asked him, yo, work out with us. Nah, I'm not doing that. Because once again, I want to compete. So I'm sorry I cut y'all off, but I think it's something there. It might be light, but I think it's good for basketball. And there is a rival. Them two is rivalries, whether people want to believe it or not. So I'm sorry.
Corey Patrick just made a nice comment. I don't know if you could go find it again, Fabian, but I was just reading. And Corey Patrick said basically what I'm saying. Curry's a hell of a competitor, but he competes in his own way, not in the typical way, right? Is competitive, just not in the typical way, right? So I don't think that changes who he is as a competitor. That just doesn't sit well with us because, like you said, we're looking for that rivalry, people embracing, the players embracing rivalries for the good of basketball. But Steph ain't really like that. If anybody in the backcourt with, the Splash Bros, it's Clay that's really like that. That's going to shade you, that's going to pop shit to you, that's going to get to the press conference and say some fly shit. You know what I'm saying? That's him. And it's real. For Clay, it's real matter of fact, right? It's never like, he's just, I'm just saying whatever comes to mind. So I don't think Steph is like that. What you think? What you think, Don?
I think that I agree with what Allball's saying to an extent. I don't think they're best friends or anything like that. I don't even know if I don't know if Steph really likes LeBron that much. It seems like they have a mutual respect for each other, and like if they see each other, they're on some like, what's going on? How's your family shit? That's about it. I don't know if they I don't think they give each other phone calls and shit like that. As far as him leaving LeBron off the top 5, you guys are saying it's out of his competitiveness. He sees him as a rival, all this. But like, I mean, Paul Pierce played against Kobe in 2 finals, and he seems to hold him in high regard. And he's even in the beginning, he didn't like LeBron, but he's kind of warmed up to him. What if Steph Curry just straight up doesn't think LeBron is top 5 for him? Like, what we haven't even asked that.
Good point.
What if, because you got to think about it, right? I'm thinking about it this way. LeBron is one of the most ball dominant like engines and one of the best engines of any offenses like ever. One player put the ball in his hands and he could just make shit happen. But the Warriors, they play the exact opposite of that kind of style, that constant movement. Steph is very not ball dominant for a guy who averages 30 points. Like in terms of the way he moves without the ball. Yeah. What if he just thinks that LeBron's style is like, I don't know, because the Warriors exposed it at times. Like obviously they had KD, but just when LeBron's gotten his ass kicked in the finals the worst, it's with teams that have talent to match up with his teams or more, but they also move the ball and move super well, like 2014 Spurs and the Warriors. So I'm questioning, does he really just not think LeBron is top 5? And it's nothing to do with rivalry or all that. What do you guys feel about that? Is there any chance that
I think you sound. Hold on. First of all, I gotta apologize to Steph Curry. I called you a chump earlier this week. I fully apologize. You reminded me that you are a competitor, and then you guys want to overlook the fact that this is not a top 5 list. He went top 5 per position, basically. Shaq, Tim Duncan at the 4, Larry Bird at the 3 initially, Jordan and Magic. Then he said, you know what? Take out Larry Bird, who's a small forward who could have played power forward, and put Kobe Bryant at the 3, who's not a 3. Ever. Nobody has ever considered Kobe a small forward.
But that's how you know that it was his preference.
Hold on. Well, okay, Flea. Who else was Kobe Bryant? Who was another rival to LeBron James? Like, this is subliminal double talk. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get me to say otherwise. Like, everything you just said,
I'm on the complete opposite end of the spectrum with this one with y'all. Y'all not going to get me to believe that Steph Curry is sitting with a bunch of fucking dogs, picking out his favorite players for top 5, and he's shading Bron. Nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not.
All right. So let me say this: we all know social media is everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
We know these guys are very smart. When I say these guys are smart, these guys have PR people. These guys are smart. You don't think Steph Curry knew this was going to hit? Come on, bro.
Let me answer the question. Let me answer you real quick, OG.
Yes.
Middle of the week, top of the week. There's a 5-minute video. Maybe while I'm talking about it, Fabian can find it. There's literally a 5-minute video of LeBron James blocking Steph Curry shots from the time he's been in the league up until this year. There's a montage of LeBron punching his shit all over the court.
Yes.
It's like 5 minutes long. I don't know if anybody else has saw it, but it just came out maybe last week. Somebody just put it up. He's punching Steph Curry shit all over the place.
Yes, I agree.
So I just had to think about that. So I don't know. Well, from what you're saying.
And remember what I said earlier when we was talking, the iconic, remember to me, and I'll let me make this, let me let y'all know. I have nothing against this. I love it. If LeBron does that to Curry, I love it. But remember, when you like a person, we see these players. They hug each other. They don't disrespect each other. But when you don't like somebody and when you do something to them, and when LeBron did like that to Steph Curry, you don't do that to somebody you like. And y'all think ain't nothing there, once again, it's a good thing for me. But if you think ain't nothing there, y'all out your mind. And if you think Steph Curry, as competitive as he is, don't think about that. Listen, man. Listen, it's there. I'm sorry, it's there. I
just can't like you go to Klay Thompson, you go to these other players, Draymond Green. They're blatantly Draymond Green does not know how to double talk. That's the problem. All he has is this. He's too raw. Steph Curry is a killer, a silent killer. This is what he does. Your man, look, Rockstar Mel. Braun just sent Curry home. I wouldn't have him in my top 5 neither. Exactly. I'm competing. I do not want you. I want you to think at every given time, I'm thinking about you too. Don't get it twisted. He's thinking about LeBron. He doesn't have him as he's not looking down on him. He's looking at him eye to eye, though. I just totally respect everything he says. Even, to compete on a comment is crazy. I love it. Steph Curry is a wrestler. Again, you didn't hear, in case you didn't hear that part of the podcast, Steph, I apologize wholeheartedly. You are a killer.
So no chance you think that he just doesn't think he's top 5?
So hold on. Let me ask y'all a question. Hold on. I'm so sorry.
Larry Bird.
No, I'm so sorry. Let me ask you this, Flea, because I'm trying to change your mind a little bit.
Yeah, of course. I'm here.
That's
I'm
me.
with you. I'm with you, OG.
But let me ask y'all this: to swap out a small forward for a shooting guard, not for another small forward, and maybe go, well, since Dr. J is my favorite player, I'll put Dr. J there. Or whatever small forward, to swap out a small forward for a shooting guard. Listen.
Evil. That's evil.
I would challenge y'all to look at this just for a second. Steph Curry comes in, right? He's the best shooter we've ever seen, right? He's a big part of ushering in this positionless basketball, how Golden State plays basketball, right? Not a lot of guys, you don't call them point guard, shooting guard, small forward, center, all of that over there, right? They play a lot of positionless hoops over there. So if you get Steph Curry to talk about who his all-time starting 5 is, I don't necessarily think once he got to small forward, shooting guard, he's like, well, I need to put another small forward. He said Larry Bird at first, then took him out, was like, you know what? I could play Mike and Kobe together. Let me roll.
Yo, earlier this week, what I say, Allball? Draymond Green is like the 50 Cent of basketball. Steph Curry's like Jay-Z, just the most subliminal shot taker ever. I love this. I have never. Yeah. Who else does this? This is subliminal after subliminal. Flea, this is me trying to convince my homeboys my brother trying to convince me that Styles P was dissing 50. When he came out, I was like, no, he's not. He's like, he's talking about getting shot in the tooth. He's blatantly talking about him. Like, this is what New York is made out of. Steph Curry, I might buy a jersey. This is crazy. Flea, you out of your mind, man.
I mean, I'll take it. But I'm not about to roll. Something else got to drop this summer for me to even think Steph is jumping out here, putting drawing the line in the sand like, yo, it's me versus you. Something else got to happen for me.
Well, Dom, have the last word. Just, do you really think it's something there?
Oh, I mean, I agree with all the stuff you're saying about the competitiveness and all that, and he's not super fond of him. I'm genuinely wondering, though, what his actual basketball opinion is. Does he think Kobe and Larry Bird are better than LeBron? Maybe he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think Kobe is better than LeBron. I mean, shit.
Dom, you really asking that question? He just told me.
Okay.
I'm taking Kobe and Larry Bird over your man.
Okay. Anyway, all right. Should we move on to the next one?
When we get Steph on the show, we're gonna ask Steph. How about that?
If he answers.
That's right.
When we get Steph on the show, we'll ask Steph.
That's right.